Hey guys, Tyler here bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Rechnaya Pereprava. Playing today, spawning on the left we have Ikol or Ikol. Playing as Ostheer, and his loadout is German Infantry, Jaeger Infantry, and Strategic Reserves. Pretty meta loadout there. Face off against them on the right. We have Stormjager, playing as Brits, who has Royal Engineer, Royal Artillery, and Vanguard, another very meta loadout there. In terms of rankings, Ikol or Ikol, around rank 160, and Stormjager around rank 90 as the Brits. It's a pretty standard build here, going section into Universal Carrier. And generally, you can play a little bit more passively if you're going for the Universal Carrier. Trying to avoid an engagement, just try to do a little like capping until you see its battlefield, and then try and get that fight going at once. And just to sneak around the side of this machine gun here with the infantry section, and you see pulling a little bit too far back here. Doesn't quite have an angle on anything to fire at. So not a successful foray in the north here for Stormjager. Not very successful at all. Another infantry section for him. Pick the way Ikol here, missing his next reindeer timing by a long way. I can understand, maybe if you're in a fight, you miss your timing a little bit, but he's been out of a fight for quite a long time now. Especially at this phase of the game, I think that is rather unacceptable. Universal Carrier here upgraded. There's ticked platoon command as well. So no super early 5-man here from Stormjager. But oh, okay. Briefly started another infantry section, but cancelled that. Looks like it was a misclick, going for engineers instead, so we can repair this back up if it took damage. But so far this thing has not seen much combat at all. I would say Stormjager's been quite bad with his utilization of it. Usually this thing in the early game against like a super strong player is just like a huge pain constantly. But in this game so far hasn't seen too much action, and as an Aussie player, if you can force it to fight against the setup machine gun, that's decent for you in the early game. It's one of the only ways you can really inflict much damage on it, unless you get a Faust off, of course. But especially once it's upgraded with the extra machine gun, trying to charge at it for a Faust is just a way to lose a lot of manpower. But best to try and tick up quickly. Looks like he put down a bunker, hasn't upgraded with medics yet. Went for the flamer early on. Stormjager, did manage to cut off resources here for Ikol. Looks like he's heading up for the northern cutoff as well. So Ikol's struggling here in the early game. A bit of trouble against this Universal Carrier and Tommy Start. But it's the thing with the British Start, it's very strong compared to Ostheer, because you don't have to build a tech structure to start building any of your units. So you get onto the battlefield faster. Combine that with the slightly faster capping speed infantry sections have. You just get off to a racing start compared to Ostheer, which is why a lot of players are going for assault grenadiers or going for Osttruppen. Try and level the playing field a little bit in terms of speed at which you start the match. On top of that, you don't have to spend extra manpower to get healing like you do as Ostheer. So just a lot of ways for Brits to pull ahead in the early game against Ostheer. Well, conventional Ostheer build at least.
Combat infantry now have access to additional equipment and tactics. New units are ready
Going
to
off.
deploy.
Looks like Ikol going for the pack first here, so I'm not going to go for a 2-2-2 to try and chase down the Universal Carrier. It looks like in this particular case it's going to be the right choice, because super early AEC coming through here for Stormjager, hitting the battlefield pretty much bang on the 6-minute mark. That is like a blazing fast AEC. But the thing is, if you get the AEC and reveal it before your opponent gets the light vehicle, it does kind of incentivize them to go into AT guns instead of into the 222. So it makes it, one less target for the AEC to actually fire at then. And the AEC not super good at bleeding infantry either, so it's not like it's a super good asset. It does alright, especially uncounted. But a waste of munitions there, rifle grenading something behind heavy cover. I'm not really advise that most of the time. Especially when you're this strapped for munitions, don't even have weapon upgrades on any of your troops. Prioritizing weapon upgrades over rifle grenading, that's never going to result in a wipe. Should be correct.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
MG jumping into the building over here, fighting against AEC. Okay, it's a retreat there. But Pack had to pull all the way back from the pressure from those Tommies, so not there to counter this. It looks like he's just going to brute force the MG out of the building. Going for a Jaeger command squad, which I think is a pretty reasonable option here. It's generally quite a good unit. Looks like Stormjager going for another infantry section here, which is a little bit strange. I feel like if you're going to go for bolster, this would be the time for it. Before you get your next squad. And whoa, he's going for G43s on his Grenadiers. Rear sight. Okay, smoke on the AEC. Pack pushing up. Hoping to get a little bit extra damage, but no attack rounds yet. Goes for it, but nowhere near. Command squad going forwards. Another attack round. Missing and a little bit low health on the Pack now. Especially on this map, there's quite a lot of negative cover crossing the river, crossing these roads. Gotta be careful with it. Setting up, but Pack's behind the bushes, so no auto attack. Going for an attack round there, but not connecting. Not connecting again. And your Pack probably needs to pull back for healing now. MG here actually doing okay against this. This is an interesting engagement. He's got sight of it. And there's only one window firing back at him. Looks like maybe one model might be in light cover here, even though the shield is not showing. Okay, Faust connecting. Pack coming forwards now, but he's got to be careful on the road there with the section right next to the Pack, and he decides not to chase across there and risk losing his Pack. Safe choice. Jaeger going for the grenade upgrade there, you could hear.
A capture point is being overrun.
And the fact that he hasn't gone for bolster means that he probably is on timing for a pretty fast medium tank. Especially given his strong map control so far. Oh, there he did. Decent connection. G43s do okay, well, pretty well in fact, against the 4-man infantry sections, but once they get 5 men, it's kind of like more of an even trade. And then if they get 5-man and the Brens, your G43 Greens really struggle. Grenade connecting there, looking for the wipe, going for the run and gun, which you can do now. The infantry sections have better on the move performance, but now all getting wiped in return. Jaeger command squad coming around the corner. It's a big one. Pack setting up, resetting up. Okay, missing its shot there. Faust is going to connect, but already taken a lot of bleed on this squad. Pack missing again. I think that might have been an attack round. So Ikol, maybe a little bit slow on attack rounds, but he's getting there. 3 misses, really? I think I only saw 2 shots go off, and the second one looked like an attack round, but you said it was a miss, then maybe it was just like a shot that went off as it was exiting targeting area. And Pack there, splitting its damage, didn't. I guess he just moved it forwards, decided to shoot at the AEC instead of the universal carrier, so didn't get either of them there. It's a little bit unfortunate. Machine gun getting quite aggressive here, unsupported, out by itself. Looking for the cap. A little bit risky. And looks like Stormjager going to go for the assault officer to make up for that lost infantry section. 243s really need to move in here. There we go. Moving into the retreat path here, which is an interesting idea. Might be able to catch them as they cross the road. 243 is very, very strong at the run and gun. Ooh, big grenade and big D crew there. Mix it up.
Shoot me! Please! Stop this torture!
Oh man. Gruesome. A lot of repairs required now though. Looks like he's not going to make use of the crew repair on the universal carrier either. Going to save the munitions. And now we're going for a 80 tank gun. Back the other way, we do have battle phase 2 complete and the tech structure going down about 20 fuel away from a tank. Let's go for the flak panzer, which sometimes is a decent option against Brits if you have had pretty strong map controls Ostheer and you're facing down AEC. But in this particular case, it probably just needs to save for the Panzer IV because its map control hasn't been that strong. I would expect a Cromwell to come in shortly behind this, though Stormjager hasn't done his tech yet. Guessing into that AT gun first. Again, fast connecting around the corner. Machine gun setting up. There we go. But generally, I do think, he has to look at this commander, Jaeger Infantry. I generally do think it's pretty strong against Brits. Because with the ambush bonus, you can actually perform pretty well against even 5-man double Brent sections. Extra bit of damage from the ambush bonus comes in handy. The ambush camo is also pretty handy against the vetted up infantry sections with their enhanced line of sight. They can't spot you and position themselves very well all the time. Oh, he's a little bit late on the retreat there after taking that grenade and go down crossing the road. Is that a rough grenade into the house there? I'm not sure, but didn't take too much damage. Could have kept it on the battlefield even, honestly. 3 models. Both of these could have stayed on the battlefield here, especially with the healing they have. Or has he? No, he hasn't gone for the 5-man upgrade yet. So maybe a slight error there from Stormjager. Looks like he has finally started his tech, but quite late starting this up. And we do have a Panzer IV coming in for Ikol. Stormjager will be able to get a Cromwell basically as soon as his tech completes if he wants to. But Ikol now in a bit of trouble after those 2 losses, the MG and the Pio. Numbers are not looking good for him. About 20 supply behind here.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us. The company command post is finished and ready for use.
Oh, leaves the cover at just the wrong time there.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
So these early armor engagements for Ikol are going to have to do very well for him. And here the P4 comes.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Replacement MG42 in the works for Ikol. Big mistake there. Needs Pios. What is he doing? Needs Pios for repairs. There's no repairs available in his commander. It's just a huge mistake. Before coming forwards, getting a nice shot in, and we see Stormjager going for some Brens now. Weapon upgrades for him. Oh, grenade in. Oh, big damage.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Oof, extremely lucky getaway there. Very easily could have been a squad loss again. So Ikol seems to have some issues with the multitasking here. Just 2 things going on at once. Couldn't really micro his tank and the squad in the center at once.
We are losing a sector. The squad of pioneers has arrived.
Yeah, seems like Stormjager may be trying to just meme a little bit here, trying to prove that he doesn't need a 5-man upgrade to win the game. And there we go, another huge grenade connecting. Looks like no heavy cover bonuses there for the machine gun. Loses that very quickly. AT gun here. Is that attack round or is that just missing? Looks like it's just missing. AEC connecting with the treat shot. And is going for the recon on the machine gun. No, maybe not. Oh yeah, there they go. And the pack maybe forcing away the AEC there. A lot of bleed on the side of both players. You can see a lot of models missing. But yeah, managed to recrew the machine gun at least. So didn't go too horribly wrong for Ikol. Back the other way, Stormjager going for a Cromwell here. Which is a decent idea. At this stage though, he could probably just tick hammer, get out a Comet. He's not too far away from that. Manpower hurting him the most, but in terms of fuel he's doing alright. And with the AT gun, with the AEC, should be able to fend off Panzer IV until then. Okay, decent ambush there. Line squad ripping in. He tried to throw a grenade, could cost him his squad. And the grenade in response, saving the day there. Affecting the damage a little bit too much. Speaking of grenades, another one coming through, just dodges it through retreat, gets the wipe. Wow, these grenades so huge for Stormjager. Ikol dodging grenades seems to be his weakness. AT gun connecting. Engineers trying to close the distance for an AT grenade, but unsuccessful. And here comes the Cromwell. Pack here having trouble with the line of sight. Looks like he's setting up, maybe hoping for some attack rounds, but unsuccessful. MG going forward, setting up aggressively here, but Cromwell, Universal Carrier are there doing a lot of damage. Could lose it here, needs to retreat. Pack setting up, and missing again. Much luck with that so far. Oh, there we go, connecting with the UC, slight micro error there. Oh, but P4 misses the killing blow. That Universal Carrier getting very, very lucky. But Ikol really struggling here. A lot of bleed over the central point. Is the way on this map, you know, all this negative cover in the central capture point just tends to lead to a lot of bleed. A lot of maps, you know, even though they have roads through the center, kind of just like turn the roads into not roads for the central capping point. Because it, you know, quality of life change on a lot of different maps, which maybe this map could also benefit from. Okay, here comes the Panzer IV. P4 maybe threatening the crush a little bit there. He's on the retreat, playing it safe. And Pack in position here. Nice work from Ikol, bringing up in support of his P4.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
But the officer managing to complete the capture on the VP, and now Stormjager bringing up his AT gun, but largely unsupported. And oh boy, squad was still pretty clumped. Sandbags got destroyed, and that just got annihilated there. They were low health, on maybe like half health, 5 models clumped up in sandbag positioning. He pays a big price for it there. P4 on the other side of the map now, chasing away the stolen MG42. Another Cromwell coming in for Stormjager. So I'm going to see some medium armor clashes here. But you know, if he did go for the Comet, he would be in a still a pretty good position. You know, P4s do trade very well with the Comets. Panzer IV really struggling to penetrate the frontal armor. Can also bounce shots from that pack as well, so Comet still would have been a good option. But you know, oh, medkit here from Ikol. Okay. In this case, you know, he's pretty close to his base. I probably would have retreated it, honestly. Try and save that munitions up for the super close air support. But it's a decent idea. Not like it's, you know, quickly returning to battle or anything here. And it's not like there was a huge jam back at his base for healing either, which also maybe made that a better idea. Okay, AT gun going forwards. Connecting with the Panzer IV, Cromwell nearby. T-gun getting a second shot off. Cromwell on the run now. And now P4 on the run. But Cromwell not advancing. Not diving in for the kill. P4 coming in from the north. Speeding down the center. Ooh, connecting with the AEC. That's in a little bit of trouble. Got a few G43 squads coming through. Could get the decro on this AT gun. P4, oh, splitting its damage. Switching targets over to the Cromwell. Pack with the target weak point through the center, but a T-gun rotating there, knocking out the Panzer IV, and that's abandoned. G43 is going to finally take down the 6-pounder. Meanwhile, in the center, MG42 stopping the pack from chasing in aggressively there. AEC out there, if it takes a Faust, it's dead. G43 though looking for the wipe, and now switching back, looking for the AEC kill. AEC on the move. P4 coming in. Cromwell and AEC both one shot from death here with the AT gun out here. Decrew. P4 could go in for the chase and the kill. Should get aggressive here. Okay, there we go. Destroys the Decrew's tank. Oh, in comes the AVRE from the side. Gets a wipe on the G43 Grenadier. See a big shift in momentum. But yeah, Ikol maybe playing a bit too timidly given his like bad position here. I think diving in, going for the kill on these would be the way to go. Needs to you know, even things up a little bit here, and just pulling back, trying to rebuild, reinforce and stuff is maybe not going to work out that well. Jaeger coming forwards again, getting a stroke in response to this, which I think is a fair idea.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Given his position, a second Panzer IV not going to help him too much. Doesn't have the damage. Oh, but a mistake here. Didn't go for the kill or the steal on that AT gun that he decrewed. So that goes back into Stormjager's hands. So yeah, quite a few mistakes here from Ikol this game. Here comes the Stug. Through the center. AVRE. Coming from the side, bit late to dodge. Ooh, basically a full connection there. P4 very low after that. Could go down to this AT gun which is coming forwards. Oh, spinning around in a circle. Oh my god, what is he doing? Oh, that is just abysmally bad play from Ikol there. Now AEC on the rear of his Stug. But AEC goes down from the pack in the rear.
We've just lost some armor.
Attack ground attempt there, not connecting with the Stug, so that gets away. So at least he gets a consolation prize there, knocking out the AEC, but that was just like such bad vehicle control. Very late in responding to the machine gun that started firing at him from the AVRE, and then like dodged forwards into the path of the AT gun. Interesting, and you know, AVRE looks like it left a big crater there, but no light cover there at all. This Cromwell's been out for repairs for ages. Do have access to the crew repairs in this commander, should be using them. Could have been applying a lot more pressure if this was full health. Second AT gun for Ikol, not a bad option given his position. But AT guns are somewhat vulnerable to the AVRE, and he has been having trouble with the attack rounds. A lot of shot blockers on, sight blockers on this map. Second AT gun, I feel like it's not going to be that strong for him. AVRE. Oh my god. When you see the AVRE that close to you, just hit retreat, you know? I'm losing another squad.
Heavy tank awaiting orders.
Okay, Cromwell up in the north, but there's basically nothing for him to fight at the moment. Ikol basically entirely in his base at the moment. Kind of surprising he has this much map control. I suppose Stormjager also a little bit low on squads. And lost his officer earlier. And there we go, double AT guns taking down the Universal Carrier.
Has been knocked out. Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Who's capping in the south. And Cromwell coming forward. It's a little bit risky here, going after the double AT guns. Gary coming in from the other side. Oh, an AT gun connecting as well. Cromwell circling. AVRE going to look for a shot on the double AT guns. But now they're kind of splitting up, which is nice. Good control. Strip backing up, could take a shot. Okay, AVRE fires a little bit short. AT gun setting up. Cromwell in some trouble. And there we go. Oh, out of control. Takes down the Stug while out of control. That's going to be irritating if you're Ikol. Gets the recrew on the AT gun, getting a couple shots on the AVRE as it backs out, but now could go down to the infantry section with the weapon upgrades. Oh, it's going to make it home. Very close call, and now he goes for a Panzer IV. So that means he's going to be relying very heavily on his double AT guns against the AVRE. Panzer IV's really going to struggle to penetrate the AVRE frontally. AVRE ready to go again. Maybe hoping to find the P-Greens for some extra damage. AT gun sitting up. Bounce. No attack ground there for an extra potential bit of damage. And Stormjager now going
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
the Centaur.
Panzer IV is ready for
And
battle.
replacing his lost infantry section. Once again, this is going to leave him quite exposed to a tank because, you know, only got one. Oh, he's got two steering squads, I suppose.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of
But
our
yeah, I
points.
mean, he's just got one AT gun to deal with this Panzer IV now, and maybe AVRE damage.
An infantry
So it's
section of
leaving him a
Tommies
little
has
bit
been trained.
exposed. And once again, can be making use of the vehicle crew repairs. Although he does have the flame mortar support, which is decent to drop on AT guns during a hectic engagement. But can vehicle crew repairs also very strong. And no sweepers from Stormjager. Just fair enough. I don't think I've seen Ikol planting in mines so far, but it could be very strong. Oh. Looks like the AVRE's crushed all these shrubs here, and that allows the AT guns to get two long-range hits in there.
Our capture point. They're
So,
trying to take it.
AVRE working against Stormjager a little bit. I think the shot blockers were helping him quite a lot, and they do help the AVRE as well. And you're getting some slightly more ambush-style shots on. Okay, the T-gun coming forwards through the targeting zone, and we've got the super close air support coming through, going for the kill on the AVRE. Get around on its rear armor here.
HQ is under attack.
So close air support planes do some pretty good damage. We've got the Centaur taking them down though. And the P4 deciding to pull back. A T-gun not pushing up here for Ikol. But it looks like it might be able to connect with the Centaur anyway. Centaur right on the edge of its range. Panzer IV coming around the corner. Missing though. And both tanks extremely low. Centaur though might be targeted. We still have one anti-tank plane up in the air. Ooh. Ooh. Both tanks extremely low. P4 is still quite healthy. I think this is worth a dive here. If you can avoid getting snared on your way into the base, and it looks like you can because these guys getting suppressed and pinned. Easy kills back here in the base. If Ikol does not chase in and go for the kill here, that is a tremendous blunder. Yep.
Standing by.
You can count that as a tremendous blunder then.
Watch for counterattacks. Ready, tank ready.
And no vehicle crew appears here from Stormjager. Has gone for hammer though. I guess he wants to try get the war speed on the Churchill, which is fair enough. Makes it quite scary. And Cromwell coming in. But yeah, Ikol here not taking the base dive. I think that's one of the another like big difference in skill. I think in like high level 1v1s you see significantly more base dives. But at the lower levels, players are a lot more timid to go for those base dive scenarios because it's quite easy for them to go wrong. But I think we saw in this particular scenario with all the snaring squads suppressed or pinned, very easy just going for the base dive there. And both these vehicles, like one shot from death. AT gun out here decrewed. That was a prime base dive scenario. It's a shame that we didn't see it, because I think if we did, Ikol would be in a very good position to win this game, but instead is once again behind. But he's actually hit in terms of VPs. It's just Stormjager with a significantly larger army. Oh man, look at this. This is just so bad. Where the vehicle crew appears. This is just abysmal. Okay, attack rounds here from the pack. Maybe that might have even been a regular shot. Not connecting with the Cromwell there. Come back the other way, connecting with the Panzer IV though. And we see a switch up to P-Greens here. Interesting tactic. Equipping them with the ambush. Can be hard though to gain territory with Panzer Grenadiers. I think like one squad camping out on a point with camos quite strong, but going for two squads with this kind of tactic, maybe not the best. 43 P-Greens are pretty strong as well. We quite like them. Quite good at like just like coming in from an angle and just ripping into support weapon as they approach due to their very, very strong moving performance. G43 is also giving them a sight bonus, which can be really helpful. Out positioning support weapons. Stormjager just waiting for the aviary for its moment to pounce. We've got a flare up from the Jaeger command squad, which is nice. Nice to see. Okay, he runs around the corner, sees the AT gun. Still rotating. AT gun in a bit of disarray as well. Aviary could get heavy damage in here. A decent connection. AT gun setting up. And Cromwell coming in from the side. AT gun pushing forwards for Stormjager. Cromwell coming in, maybe looking for the Stug kill with its rear exposed. No, not chasing in for it. P4 in the north on a bit of a unusual journey.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And now just everything sitting back. Stormjager going for the triple cap here. Turn the VP scenario around. And we finally see him go for the 5-man upgrade now. What's the trigger on that? Peregrine's unable to cap in the center. Could lose it into the AVRE. No, hits a retreat this time. The machine gun unveiling itself down here could be a nice target for the AVRE. A T-gun up in the north nose, so not too much. Oh, we got the Cromwell there. It'll be pretty safe to come down here, and he finally realizes it. T-gun also reasonably central in its position. Maybe heard this coming through the fog. Now it gets away. Oof. Super late cancel. It's one of the real benefits of the AVRE. You can cancel that shot like just so late. And because it doesn't have like a animation to show when it started triggering, it can be quite hard to dodge it. Which is one of its main advantages of the Stormjager. AT guns, a little bit clumsy with them there. Could lose them now. Loses one. AT gun nearby as well, could go for the kill on that, and does. Quick to kill it, nicely done there by Stormjager. And with the triple cap ticking, Ikol in some big trouble here. Made in, trying to get him to retreat path, but this time Ikol not falling for it. Centaur, oh, AT gun, just in range of the Strug. Now it pulls back. Only got one up high for repairs as well. Ikol very slow on repairs. Loading a little bit of resources here as well. Could get another tank and probably another squad of pyros on top of that. Yeah, the Peregrines also with no snares, you know. Don't know if I like this tactic. In fact, I'll tell you straight away I don't like this tactic. And he has one squad available for snares now.
200 points remaining.
Which means Stormjager will be quite free to get aggressive. And it looks like he's going for a Cromwell. Pretty much at his pop cap limit here. To round things out. Now trying to put up some trenches to just try and lock out the game. Which is a wise move. Trying to come forwards here, maybe looking for the snare. I'm not sure. It does have sprint on this, which I don't think we've seen him use all game. That can be quite helpful for sprinting forwards and getting a snare off. The real benefits of having ambush training in your commander. There you go, Cromwell. I don't know if that was aiming for that Peregrine, but ends up connecting with it before landing on the Cromwell. Jaeger coming to the south before pulling back. Second Panzer IV is going to be the option for Ikol. Okay, so he's got a decent army. He can make some things happening. The right unit positioning, catching Stormjager out of position a little bit. Make some things happen here. Comes the Panzer IV. Bad trade for it there. And Peregrines here unable to charge in against the 5-man Brend section. Oh boy, AVRE looking to get a shot into their retreat path, but Peregrines delay their retreat nicely. Good work there from Ikol. P4's here coming out worse for wear. Squad should be pretty strong here against section in close range. Oh, but here comes a Centaur from the other side. Oof. On the retreat. Oh, but Centaur gets the wipe. Trench in the center. MG42 struggling. Slow to retreat it, but doesn't end up costing him anything. So now no snaring squads for Ikol. He's got enough munitions for a stick close air support though. So that could be an important factor. We still do have the Centaur on the map though to shoot them down. Need to make sure that the Centaur is occupied ideally while the planes are in the air. But we just about have it here. Ikol with a decent armoured force. Could just hang back a little bit longer, get one more tank out, maybe one more Stug would go a long way. There we go. Double Cromwell's approaching the P4 from the rear. First shot missing, second shot connecting, and Stuka close air support planes coming down to try and save the day. AT gun squaring off on the AVRE. We've got AT gun forwards here for the other Panzer IV though. Decent damage on the Cromwells. Stug and P4 charging through the AT gun, taking a lot of damage here. One of the AT planes shot down. Second one still up in the air. Centaur switching targets to the tanks. Stug quite slow getting in here. Panzer IV is low. Main gun crit on one of the Cromwells. Main gun crit now on the Panzer IV. P4 goes down. One Cromwell goes down, but the other Cromwell getting a flank on the Stug. P4 going and chasing now. They're going and chasing for what? Ooh, tank goes down to the pack from the side. And could we see the end of the Centaur? No, getting behind the tank wreck there, blocking sight from the Panzer IV. AT gun coming forwards for Stormjager. And gets the kill. And here comes the AVRE with the war speed. And Ikol throws in the towel. So yeah, Ikol, you can see the differential here in his skill. Just a few slightly clumsy things. Not going for the base dive twice, I think, was just like a huge blunder this game. Could have come out ahead after a couple of those engagements if he did. But instead, ultimately going down there. A little bit clumsy with his P4 positioning there. Like bringing it in with its rear armor facing is okay. But then like as soon as you get here, even though you'll miss some damage, you should change the direction back to facing towards your enemy. And if that was the case, maybe you wouldn't have had to use the panic Stuka close air support right at the end there. Even though you will, maybe miss some damage as you rotate the tank. Firing at the infantry, worth it to make sure you don't get caught with your rear armor exposed like that. But yeah, the double P greens as well. Maybe you could get one squad, try and go for the ambushes, but two squads like that, I do not think that was the right choice. And maybe before pulling the trigger on a super aggressive play like that right at the end, should have tried to squeeze out one more tank, which might have made the difference here, honestly. One more Stug, double Stugs coming through. Could have been very, very strong. Put them in one control group, just bring them in from the front, do a lot of damage. Could have been quite good. There you go. Not quite there. As for Stormjager, probably should have been able to close out this game a little bit more quickly, given how far ahead he was during a large portion of this match. Just spent a lot of downtime repairing his tanks, a little bit slow with his movements, and yeah, definitely should have been using the vehicle crew repairs throughout the match. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.